Alrighty, welcome back to another YouTube video. This is gonna be like a kind of sort of part 2 to the angel cats painting I did. This is the back of that sketchbook, and we're going to be painting a medieval hell background painting thingy on the back. I've always thought that those depictions of hell being like the opening of a monster's mouth is really cool. I think that I definitely had a lot of fun. I really like painting faces in particular. Full bodies are, full bodies are difficult. And with faces, you can do my absolute favorite thing and paint gratuitous detail. I'm trying to get better about gratuitous detail painting, but, old habits die hard, I guess. I find that the best kinds of paintings, I guess the mark of like a really good artist, in my opinion, is the ability to kind of balance detail with bigger picture things. So, for example, if you have an idea in your head, like I want to symbolize, I don't know, I'll do something real broad, symbolize loss, or symbolize, joy, or a love of nature, like how to do that without getting lost in details and thinking about, I guess, seeing the forest for the trees and not focusing on one tree. Me, I focus the hell out of that one tree. I study that tree. That tree will become my muse. I definitely miss the wide, devouring forest around me for that one tree. So I'm trying to get better at, narrowing down a focus and being able to, I guess, prioritize shapes and bigger ideas over, doing like, the little bitty dots on the nose, or like individual pores, or the veins in the eye. Like people know that that's there. You don't really have to go into extreme detail over it. And here I'm just going in with as many paints as I can or shades, I should say. I'm using the golden open acrylics, I think. Or just golden acrylics. I really like golden acrylics. They are my favorite acrylic paints to use. I got these for Christmas. I definitely don't, if I run out of these, I'm just done. I stick to like Walmart Liquitex paints after that. These are like a fun little treat. So that's honestly the reason why I decided to paint the front and back of my sketchbook, because of these super cool awesome paints. Say what you will, getting something like fresh and new can really kind of force you to, get out of your comfort zone. Because I wouldn't say I'm like bad at traditional painting. I'm just not as like experienced in it or comfortable with it as digital painting. But if you get something shiny and new like golden acrylics, I'll try my hand in painting traditionally for a little bit. Why not? And the idea of an angel on one side and the hell depiction on the other side was just way too cool. I love stuff like that. I love opposites and like striking differences together. It's neat. And I did kind of go a little ham and bananas on this guy, especially considering he's the back of the sketchbook and not the front, but whatever. I love drawing monsters. Again, I love drawing, it's not extraneous. My brain wants me to say extraneous. That is not the term. What is the term? Extenuating? Strenuous detail? Extreme detail? Whatever. If you know If you know what term I am thinking of, please let me know in the comments. I am blanking so hard on that. But anyway, a lot of my painting process is just trying my best to do, oh, and here's some golden, like, I think it's like a slow drying glaze that I mix with my acrylic paints on my palette so that it's more easy to blend. That is the thing about acrylic paints that kind of sucks, is that if you look away for a second, if the wind in the room or the air in the room hits that acrylic paint for even a microsecond, it's going to start drying. It's going to turn into like plastic, because acrylic paint is plastic. It's going to turn into a plastic like pudge on your palette if you don't keep it wet. So you can either use water, not a ton of water, but you can use some water to thin it out, or like a spray bottle with water. You can get that pretty cheap at like Walmart or the dollar store. Fill it up with water, spritz your palette or spritz your painting as you go. But if you have the opportunity to get like a slow drying medium, it definitely helps. But I get it if you're like strapped for cash. I really get it. Then water's fine. God, what was I gonna say? That's the one thing too. I don't really like writing scripts all that much, because I think that I feel so unnatural when I read from a script, but of course the downside of that is you sound really unprofessional if you don't read from a script. But anyway, here's the first bit done, and now magically it is daytime. And not only that, it's a new angle. I'm trying different camera angles. I don't really know. I'm new to this whole filming thing. I'm not very good at it right now. I don't know if you can tell. But I'm learning. Just trying to see what works well. And I'm trying to replicate as best as I can the angles that I see in like other artists' videos. They have like this specific angle where it doesn't show the entirety of the painting. It's like, but it's just close. It's just close enough so you can see what they're doing, but you can't see the whole painting. I don't know. It's really strange. I'm trying to figure it out. Because this camera angle, not gonna lie, it looks good. But I could not really see what I was doing. I film with my phone too, so it's not like those fancy ones where you can see what you're filming as you're doing it. So anyway, geez, I decided to go with like more bold but simple colors. Ew. Anyway, nasty all hair. I don't even know if that was my hair, cat hair, guinea pig hair. I don't know. Anyway, I get distracted way too easily. Again, going back to scripts, the trade-off, you sacrifice a lot of sounding like you know what you're doing and not being annoying when you don't do scripts. And I didn't realize that when you do YouTube scripts, you also write down, like, it's not just your dialogue, it's also what's happening in the video, so you can kind of plan out your video more. Genius, of course. Of course. Anyway, let me think for 1 second. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that I didn't really want to make the demons too detailed, because I kind of like the idea of them being, of the mouth of hell being really detailed and gross, and the demons being kind of not necessarily shadowy, but less detailed, to be a little more menacing, maybe? I don't know. Hopefully that comes across. But my painting process, guys, I really, one of these days, maybe I'll do a tutorial, but I'm gonna be real, I am, like most things in my life, I am just winging it. I think what helps a lot with blending acrylics is transition shades, and that's picking a shade that is like right in between your darkest and your lightest color, and kind of picking, it's kind of like color picking, but you know, IRL. So it's difficult, but it is, or just smudge with your finger like me. I do think that that's the best way that you can get realistic shades, is by doing transition shades. It's a lot of paint, and it's a lot of practice, but practice makes close to perfect, I suppose. But there was something else that I wanted to talk about. What in the world was it? The rest of this video is just gonna be me absolutely floundering. Oh yes! The big thing. Oh my god, I have been out of internet for a month now. One of the unfortunate realities of living out in the boonies, living in the middle of nowhere, is that when shit happens, for example, we have major construction going on, and they hit, I don't know what in the world they hit to make everybody's internet in my neighborhood in quotations, because it's kind of like a we're kind of like a strange hillbilly colony. But anyway, like it's a major outage, and it's been like that for a month. No updates. It's been terrible. I've been having to go to my parents' house to upload anything to, and it's awful. It's terrible. Oh man, I can't stress enough how inconvenient this is. But I suppose you gotta find the bright side in things, even though it seems terrible. And one of those bright sides is that I've been watching my DVD collection, and every time I go to Walmart, I try and pick up another DVD if I can. I found the whole Courage the Cowardly Dog series on DVD, and I've been watching that over and over again. Same with all the SpongeBob. I got the SpongeBob all the seasons box set a couple years ago maybe. And of course I have that on rewatch as well. Well, you know, seasons 1 to 3 and sometimes 4 if I'm feeling a little, you know, a little creative or a little, you know, adventurous. Want to stray out of the comfort zone of season 1 to 3. Sorry for the sudden, like, change in audio quality. I had to move to a room with some AC. It's unbelievably hot where I am. Honestly, it's gotten to the point where I think most embarrassingly I have developed a sun allergy. I don't know how that's possible, but if I spend more than like 5 minutes out in the sun, direct sunlight, I get terrible rashes. Like, it's not really a sunburn. Oops, knocked the hell out of that stand right there. Oof. Anyway, it's not like a sunburn. It's like raised bumps all over my arms. It's pretty awful. And I get really sick. Like, 100-degree fever type sick. It's terrible. And nothing makes you feel quite, like a sickly, dying baby bird than getting a sun rash and getting a fever from getting too hot in the sun. Anyway, finishing up a little bit on the flames here. I really like painting the fires. I need to paint more flames. And here it is. I decided to just go in with some markers and just kind of, you know, put details in that way. I wanted to keep the demon cats, or I guess demons, they don't really look like cats all that much, but I wanted to keep them nondescript, more menacing that way, besides that little guy. He's kind of cute. But there it is. And the reveal of them both together. We got the hell mouth on the back and the angel kitty cats on the front. I really liked painting this. I hope that you guys liked watching me paint this. Again, if you haven't seen the first video of me painting the angel cats, that's fairly recent on my channel. You just scroll a little bit, you'll find it, no problem. And again, I really appreciate all of you guys for watching. Yeah, don't really have much to say. stay cool out there. It's hot as hell. Corny. Anyway, thanks so much. Bye.